Yo, what's up? This is your boy Postman, and you're tuned in to Post on the Diary Room. Welcome to Post on the Diary Room. And as you may know, every day is a good day to get a delivery from the postman. And of course, if this is your very first time tuning in, please kindly like, share, subscribe, comment, do whatever is necessary to engage with the content. Kilo 25K has officially released his sophomore album titled Loyal to the Plug, The Life and Times of Don Kilograms. The project comes after a lengthy period away from releasing music, but during that period, 25K has been active on a lot of features. And you may remember that 25K last released his project in 2021, which was his first ever album titled Pele Machiavelli. Loyal to the Plug was easily one of the most anticipated albums of 2024, especially when you consider the reception that was gotten by the three joints that released ahead of this album. Platinum sits very well as the sixth joint in this project ahead of the song Deep Waters. Along with this, Something Special actually makes sense within the context of the album, but not really as a standalone single. But I must say, Something Special is one of the worst songs on this project. 25K himself doesn't even sound comfortable and sounds very flat. He doesn't even offer much that we can work with as the listener, unlike Marcus Harvey, who to me was the actual focal on the song. On the intro, as well as the whole entire course of the album, we have Warren Masemola, who then assumes the role of being the narrator. To me, his narrations gave this album a lot of order as well as organization. The narrations were very seamless, ultimately contributing towards heightening the cinematic feel that is brought by the production throughout this project. Kilo opens up this record and addresses a couple of the naysayers who thought he fell off, but also in true 25K fashion, we have a lot of these PSL references that do take center stage as the intro progresses. If my memory serves me well, Peli Basas first actually premiered on the YouTube channel that we know as, it's not a YouTube channel as such, but it's a platform rather that we know as From the Block. And at the time, the joint was incomplete, and Java then came on board to seemingly fill in the gaps, because when you go to the performance, the joint does sound incomplete, and the gaps there are filled by Java's hook. I thought Java sounded a lot warmer than usual. He also emphasizes the importance of living life the way you want to live it. I am not really sure if the guys narratively were on par. They don't sound like they were on par in my opinion. Still on the note of not necessarily being on par in as far as pushing a particular narrative is concerned, this can also be seen on the song Deep Waters, where we have Matlera, A-reece, Marcus Harvey. 25K has the first verse. It is expected because this is a song on his album. It's his song, and you kind of do expect him to have the first verse. But in my opinion, his contributions also don't really live up to the demands that come with naming a song Deep Waters, because he doesn't do justice to the joint in as far as the topic is concerned, because he kind of deviated in my opinion. He had a very poor verse. Marcus Harvey then came on board to save the day in as far as the direction of the song is concerned, because when he came, we kind of have a sense of, oh, this is a song about something deep, because Marcus Harvey opens up about people that are pulling him down. And a-reece also kind of solidifies that narrative, and he talks about his friends that he gave the spotlights during the time he was also coming up. And he also opens up about how he sacrificed quite a lot, and he makes it clear that if the music did not pan out, it was probably going to be a 9 to 5 thing for him, where now he has to work a 9 to 5 because the music didn't work out, so it had to work out. And that's the deep essence that I'm talking about. Just give us something deep and introspective. Maglera had the best verse on the song. It's also clear with the production techniques that were applied in as far as his contribution was concerned. He is more or less isolated. He's put last. He has the last verse. He was more or less given the shine, and he does that because when his verse comes on, the listener automatically just focuses on what he was saying. It's very captivating. It's very introspective. It's very deep, and it's well layered, so to speak. I love the sample. I love the jazzy feel that the song has. Hear me out. Hear me out. I am not pleased with the contextual contribution by 25K, but his performance overall was insane. Like, to open up a joint like that, like, yeah, I think it made sense. It makes absolute sense for him to have that kind of energy, because the beat demanded that from him, and he gave the beats exactly what it demanded off of him. Just don't agree with the lack of contextual depth. One of my favorite songs on this project is none other than Fake Love. It features Vocalistic, who I thought had a brilliant hook. His hook has a lot of sing-along value. I think everyone who's heard the joint at some point started singing Modimo Palabaloy. I mean, Foka even brought out the full gear on this joint. He brought out the infamous tag. He even brought out the infamous Achu ad-lib. Here it's clear that they were talking about fake love, and 25K touches on things like witchcraft. And he also gives a lot of credit to God for all the success that he has been able to achieve over the course of the past couple of years. And yeah, I think the song makes sense in that spectrum because it is about fake love and how people, or how certain people are just plotting for their downfalls, but because God is there, things like that don't really take place. The transitions on this album were very, very important, it seems, because I actually love or enjoyed hearing how something special came before the song Fake Love, which basically, when you move from something special to fake love, you are more or less enhancing the idea of love. But now with the song Fake Love, you are now exploring the darker side of love, which is fake love, which is also hate in turn. Love is a very integral part of this particular project, which leads me to then speaking about another favorite song of mine, which is 24 Bonnie and Clyde, because Kilo is very vulnerable here. Credit to Mikhail Jones, because I thought her singing helped elevate the overall message that Kilo was trying to bring across. The song with Nasty C, Being Real is Rare, is exactly what I imagined the joint between the two to be like, or to even sound like. It sounded as though Kilo was paying homage to Zuchi Coke Dope on the song I Was Broke, because he details life before Zuchi Coke Dope. He makes it clear that he lived a very chaotic life before Zuchi Coke Dope came into the picture. Alpha-Ray, in my opinion, one of the standout features on this project, he raised the Sutu rap flag very, very high. And he took it to a whole nother level because he's very comfortable on the joints. His voice sounds very unique and he sounds very engaging, and he's having fun with the beats as well. Undoubtedly, 25K took a very musical approach, and this thought comes also at the back of hearing the song with AKA titled The Resolve. One of the worst songs. Was a very awful listen. I thought AKA 2, rest in peace to Super Mega, but this was not his best verse, to be fair. I think this was a verse that he recorded during the time where he was just doing Bova Mania. But credit to Kilo for also testing himself out, especially with a different sound and just taking a different direction throughout the project. And it makes sense, but I just don't think the song is good. The project also has fillers in songs like Project Baby 2, Tammy Taylor, Pretty Paper. I thought those songs were just fillers. They just bring drag to the project and they just make the project a lot longer. I don't see how they impact the project. My favorite 25K performance throughout the course of the listen would have to be the performance on The Untouchables. Kilo sounded very comfortable. I like how he was gliding on the beats there. And he was just spazzing, to be fair. And what he did more or less set the tone for Lwati Nova Pounds to even take the song even further and even shine even more. Importantly, credit to Big Les for real for his contribution on this particular project. He was the executive producer, if I'm not mistaken, and Zuchi was more of the engineer as well as the curator of this particular project. I stand to be corrected, of course, but credit to them. I like how the project sounds very, very weird. It sounds like an audio film. It sounds very cinematic. It has a lot of eerie sounds, brassy, full of these raw instrumentations. I like the direction that this project kind of took, and I enjoyed the production. Credit to the producers and credit to how they even made Warren Masemula even stand out. I loved how Warren Masemula rounded off the project by singing the song Peace in Our Land, which is by Chico Twala, as well as Mzwake Mbule. I feel like this project was carried by a lot of the features. The features also make sense, don't get that twisted. To me, the whole Don mystique doesn't reflect throughout the project. I don't see Kilo being a Don here. If he did, then I must have missed it, but it's not really reflecting. Two-headed goat shouldn't have been there. This is amongst the many other things that I'm saying, because when you consider the placement of two-headed goats, it's like, yeah, like what are we addressing there? What are we tying up? Because that's the last song on the project. I think this project is not really concise as it's supposed to be. I also feel like you don't really get the true sense of where Kilo is in life right now. You just leave this project with a lot of question marks than actual answers. This project gets a 7 out of 10 in my opinion. 25K is loyal to the plug. The life and times of Don Kilograms gets a 7 out of 10 in my opinion. Post in the diary, please kindly like, share, subscribe, comment. Do whatever is necessary to engage with the content, and most importantly, I will see you on the next one.